Associate Professor Lim Sansan.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I declare my interest as Board Director of the Singapore Environment Council. In the face of scorching temperatures, environmental degradation and climate change, the Resource Sustainability Bill, an entirely new bill to address these critical issues, is very welcome indeed. We in Singapore have become well acquainted with the 3 Rs: reduce, reuse and recycle, perhaps to the point that they have become somewhat trite and lost valuable traction. In truth, although many of us try hard to practice these 3 Rs, it seems like broader structural factors and norms work against our best efforts. Let me illustrate with one of my favorite Instagram accounts, that of Tapao Girl. This environmentally minded young woman meticulously details the steps she takes daily to reduce her use of disposables. On most days, she succeeds remarkably with her inspiring arsenal of reusable cups, containers and cutlery, and enjoys her takeaway food like the rest of us. But one day in July this year, she recounted in a post her distressing experience at a bakery while waiting behind another customer. She said, I quote, "When he was done paying, I was almost going to cry. First, the 13 buns, each in one plastic bag of its own. Then he wanted 6 buns in one bag and 7 buns in another, and he wanted them double-bagged. Then he asked the cashier to give him one large bag to put everything into. In one bakery trip for 13 buns, there was a total of 18. 18 plastic bags used in one single transaction." End quote. I share her distress when I witness such scenes in bakeries, hawker centres and supermarkets. It seems that as consumers, we have become so precious that food items must be individually packed for fear that they come into contact with each other. Heaven forbid that we allow our floss buns to defile our chocolate croissants. Indeed, I often find it difficult to advise service staff that I don't wish to have my breads individually packed and that I have no need for disposable cutlery. Many look at me with annoyance as if I have disrupted their well-established work processes. I do not fault these staff. The broader structural factors we all labour under are norms set in place by industries and consumer expectations which have been shaped as a result. Companies are keen to win over customers and see offering individual packaging and free bags as good service. Consumers are in turn trained to expect and demand such provisions, and this vicious cycle perpetuates itself countless times every single day. Over time, such norms and expectations result in mountains of trash and ingrain in our people wasteful habits that generate more rubbish than we can handle. These harmful norms and expectations exist not only in F&B, but in virtually every industry. I would therefore like to propose an alternative set of 3 Rs that can take environmental sustainability at institutional and individual levels to a higher plane. In addition to reduce, reuse and recycle, therefore, I propose that we strive to reinvent, recalibrate and reward. The Resource Sustainability Act will be an excellent initiative with regard to reinvention. By requiring that those who profit from the supply of products be responsible for collecting and treating these products when they become waste, companies will be more cognizant of downstream effects of their commercial activity. Hence, this will motivate them to invest more heavily in reinventing their products so that waste generation is minimized. On the specific issue of e-waste that the bill seeks to address, technology companies have for too long practiced planned obsolescence to boost consumer demand. They design lifespans of products such as smartphones and laptop computers to be artificially short, so that consumers are forced to ditch functional products and acquire new ones. Some devices are also designed to be difficult to repair, or with replacement parts that are tightly controlled by the company, thereby making it challenging to extend their lifespans through replacing faulty parts. Consumers find it far easier to buy a whole new device and junk the old one. In contrast, consider the Dutch social enterprise Fairphone, which produces smartphones with significantly less environmental impact. Fairphones are designed to be easy to open, repair, and upgrade. For example, Fairphone owners can unscrew their phones and replace the cameras, thereby enjoying the latest technology without having to buy an entirely new phone. Their phones are designed to last for at least 5 years, more than twice the standard 24-month smartphone replacement cycle. Examples such as Fairphone show us that resource sustainability is achievable through reinvention, especially if we introduce the right levers. In addition to the much welcome Resource Sustainability Act, therefore, I would like to ask the Minister to consider introducing additional laws to combat the exploitative practice of planned obsolescence, as well as laws to strengthen consumers' rights to repair their electrical and electronic products. The next R we must act upon is to recalibrate. It is time we recalibrate people's expectations for what constitutes excellent service and warm hospitality. When did we transform into a society where events must involve goodie bags, bottled water, and an oversupply of catered food? How did our homes start to be filled with conference swag, stuff we all get, that we dump into landfills after engaging in Marie Kondo-inspired spring cleaning? Thankfully, these norms need not be cast in stone. Collectively, we can forge fresh norms that help to advance resource sustainability. Conference organizers should dispense with goodie bags, hotels can do away with small toiletries bottles, and bakeries must discontinue this practice of wrapping buns in individual bags. I was delighted to learn before entering the House today that FairPrice is starting a month-long trial to charge for plastic bags in various outlets. Every industry can identify positive disruptions to enhance environmental sustainability. Once we create new norms, we recalibrate consumer expectations and break the cycle of wasteful product practices that seem to be more entrenched as we become more affluent. Finally, the third R is to reward. Beyond punitive measures that clearly have their place in our ecosystem, we must also consider introducing more schemes to reward companies and consumers for their efforts towards resource sustainability. As the recent study by the Singapore Environment Council on building a circular food economy revealed, an estimated $2.54 billion of food loss occurs in Singapore from farm to market annually. This astounding loss must be addressed. We need to introduce more incentive schemes for companies to invest in technology to extend the shelf life of food items. We also have to encourage different players within the food supply chain to collaborate on practicable solutions to stemming food waste. We should also develop Singapore as a centre where we specialize in innovations to transform food waste streams into valuable byproducts. By rewarding such investments, collaborations, and innovations, we can steer companies towards greater resource sustainability. Similarly, on the consumer level, we can introduce schemes to change consumer behavior. Those who choose options with a smaller carbon footprint can be rewarded with loyalty points that translate into discounts. Similarly, consumers can be encouraged to reward companies that offer more green alternatives through rating and voting systems. Step by step, through actions big and small, we can shift mindsets and change behavior for the better. In conclusion, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I firmly support the Resource Sustainability Bill and urge companies and consumers to reduce, reuse and recycle, but also to reinvent, recalibrate and reward.